What's up? What's up? It's main event Mike here to talk about L'Jarius Snead. Boy, you hear that name so much. L'Jarius Snead. He is the sexy pick. He's the hot commodity, especially with Lions fans. They want to see this corner from Kansas City Chiefs come over and be a Detroit Lion. Half the fan base loves the move. Half the fan base says, no way Brad does it. No way. So I wanted to take a deeper dive and see, what are the chances? What's it looking like to bring this L'Jarius Snead to Detroit? Let's take a look. L'Jarius Snead, fourth-round draft pick out of Louisiana Tech, came into the league in 2020, only played 9 games that year. 2021, he had an average year. 2022, he exploded. 2023, he solidified himself as a shutdown corner, as a CB1. Had 2 back-to-back stellar years and 2 Super Bowl rings to show for it as well. Brad Holmes, he's building a winner, and he's been doing it a certain way. And bringing in big, high-priced free agents hasn't been the way. He's a very shrewd negotiator. He's proven himself in 3 years to be very shrewd, but he's up against one of the best in Brad Veach and Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have put the franchise tag on L'Jarius Snead. That gives the team leverage. Now, it's going to cost them $19.8 million if he doesn't sign somewhere else, if they're not able to trade him. Now that they've tagged him, they can trade him, and they are going to get something back. You're talking about the man or the team that traded away Tyreek Hill and parlayed that into 2 consecutive Super Bowl championships. So I don't like going into a negotiation with a guy like that. I mean, they say it's a good deal when both sides are disappointed. That's what it would take to get this deal to the Lions. You've got Brett Veach and Brad Holmes facing off to get this corner moved in a deal, and I just don't think either one would budge enough. They're the possible suitors that have been named for L'Jarius Snead. Let me read these off to you. Outside of the Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, the Indianapolis Colts, the Titans, the Patriots, the Falcons, and the Jaguars. Now, it's no surprise that all of those teams are in the top 10 of cap space. So, obviously, those are the top landing spots because they're the ones that have the money to pay him. And that, folks, is the problem. Successful teams or most teams in the NFL have their high-priced quarterback that accounts for 15 to 18% of the salary cap. Then you've got your stud wide receiver, a stud defensive player here or there. You can only afford to pay 3, maybe 4 guys the higher tier of a contract. So you look at Kansas City, they've got Patrick Mahomes, obviously. They have to re-sign Chris Jones, the best defensive interior lineman in the league. He's going to command close to $30 million. They're giving Patrick Mahomes $50 million. They've got another Pro Bowl corner who they moved up 8 spots in the draft to get by the name of Trent McDuffie, who his contract is going to come due soon. They don't want to keep Snead and pay him $20 million, but they will. They can. Believe me, they wouldn't have put the tag on him if they couldn't afford to. So they still have the leverage here. Now, you're not going to see Brad Holmes do a Trey Lance type of trade or a Ricky Williams type of trade. You're not going to see him give the farm up for one player. No way. So it's at least going to cost you a first-round pick, and you're going to have to pay this guy $20 million on a one-year deal because he's got the franchise tag. You can try to sign him, but there's no guarantee you will. So you're giving up a number 1 draft pick and $20 million of your salary cap. On one hand, it seems like it makes sense because you're not going to get a shutdown corner of Snead's caliber probably right away at 29. But this just doesn't seem like the kind of thing Brad Holmes can do. And even if he did, there would be other teams that could way outbid us. Take a team like Atlanta. Atlanta, yeah, everyone knows they need a quarterback, but they don't have anyone else to pay. I mean, all of their stud players, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, they're all on rookie deals. Their defense, their secondary specifically, is terrible. Makes a lot of sense for Atlanta to commit to this guy. Give up some stuff. Get this guy, sign him to a 3-year deal, and anchor that secondary and that defense moving forward because you've got so many pieces at offense, and you've definitely got enough money left to buy a quarterback. So, I like Atlanta as a much better fit. Like I said, a lot of these teams can throw more money at them than the Lions can. So, I mean, Minnesota is on that list. they don't even have a quarterback, and they're going to have to pay Danielle Hunter and Justin Jefferson and a quarterback or draft one and go through a learning curve. So then you're going to bring L'Jarius Snead there. That doesn't seem to make sense either. Indianapolis just put the franchise tag on Michael Pittman. They could do it, but they're still a few years away yet. They still need way too many pieces to invest that big in one player, it seems like. Jacksonville just put the franchise tag on defensive end Josh Allen. They also, of course, have Trevor Lawrence. So that would be a tough one to land L'Jarius Snead there as well. You look at the Patriots and the Tennessee, they have the second and the third highest cap room, respectively. The Patriots absolutely could do it. Then you'd have Christian Gonzalez on one side and L'Jarius Snead on the other. That seems like a good fit. They've got a ton of money. They could outbid. They have the third overall pick. They have way more draft capital and things to offer the Chiefs. And now that the Chiefs have put the franchise tag on, they control it. If you don't offer me enough, then I'm just going to keep him and pay him 19.8, and we'll do this all over again next year. So a guy like L'Jarius Snead could make the difference. We've seen 2 years out of this guy, and he's only ascending. So he's only 27 years old. This could be a difference maker for the Detroit Lions defense. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I want to know, is this a guy that could put us over the edge? Would it be worth giving up $20 million a year plus the draft capital? Maybe a number one pick with Brad Holmes picking that pick? Is that something you want to do? If you get one guy at $20 million, would you be better off getting two mid-tier guys at $10 million each? Now you got two guys, and maybe you can develop them into that higher echelon, that CB1. Cam Sutton, we know, is in a CB1. Are you going to have a team full of CB2s, or are you going to take the plunge, give up what you got to give up to get a guy like L'Jarius Snead in here? Then you draft a couple corners, you could be looking good. Draft a defensive end, maybe. There's some free agent help in the secondary as well. That doesn't cost as much. So L'Jarius Snead is going to be very interesting as we get close to free agency. What's going to get done with this guy? His name is at the top of the list. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to follow us on the Lions Villain Squad on Facebook. I'm Main Event Mike. Peace out.